Hello everyone, good morning. How are you all? So yes, we are welcome. I welcome you all again. And here we are going to discuss the previous year questions of SSC examinations, which includes CHSL, Steno, then we have MTS. All these examinations are covered, and today we will be having questions from the chemistry part. Yes, the questions are going to be from chemistry in everyday life, and also we are covering other parts of the chemistry which are very important. For example, I can talk about some of the concepts which are related to the pollution. So there are several questions. For example, the question may be from CFC, question may be from the ozone depletion part. So these are the questions which are repeatedly asked, and yes, I have tried to keep those particular questions which are most expected in these examinations. Okay, so yes, without any delay, let's start with the session. And here's the first question on the screen. The first question is, dash is obtained by the evaporation of sea. Now this is very simple one. We know that from sea water, what we are going to get? From sea water, we obtain that particular thing which is very important. What's that? If you're eating biryani, if you're eating pizza, whatever you are eating, you need one thing for the taste, and that's what? That's the salt, right? So I'll talk about the salt, from where we are obtaining it. See, salt may be of different types, right? We can talk about salt which is actually rock salt. Now, if I talk about this salt, the salt which we are actually using, so Prajwal has already given the answer, that is salt. Great, Prajwal. So what I was talking about, if I talk about this salt, that is, I'm talking about sodium chloride over here, which we are using in our food. So when we talk about evaporation of sea, this means what we are doing, we are actually accumulating the sea water. It's near the seashore, where we accumulate this water, and then it is actually kept in such a manner where its evaporation takes place. And after the evaporation, the part which is left is what? They are the crystals, that is your salt. And obviously they go with the different processes in which we need to get the salt which is away from all these sort of impurities. Obviously those all things are done, but one more important thing is there which I want to tell you here. One more thing is that, and that is actually your iodine. Iodine is actually added up, and it is according to the government norms that we are getting the salt which is actually iodized. That is, iodine is actually present in that salt. So this is according to the government norms. Whatever salt you are eating, whether it is Tata salt, whichever company salt it is, it would be ionized. That means we are talking about that means we are actually adding the iodine over there. Okay, so here what I'll say, the correct answer is going to be salt. That is option number C. Next question. The rubbing surface of a matchbox has a powdered glass and a little red dash. So now we are talking about a matchbox. If I talk about this matchbox, we have matches over there, right? Because of which we are able to, the best example would be firecrackers. You are able to burn those crackers, or you are able to use those fireworks because of this matchbox only, right? So yes, my question is, if I'm talking about the rubbing surface of the matchbox, so it is made up of what? So here we have answer. Avan, hello Avan, good afternoon, how are you? So after a long time, so Prajwal has given the answer, that is phosphorus, and that's true. So please remember that particular part is red phosphorus. So Albertson is also there in the session. Great. You all are correct. The correct answer is going to be your red phosphorus. Okay, let's move forward to the next question. Next question is, a dash thread is actually stronger than a steel wire. Now we are talking about fiber over here. So you have to tell me which is that particular thread which is stronger than the steel wire. Let's see who can give this answer. And everyone who is there in the session, kindly like it and share it so that we can have maximum candidates here. Yeah, answer please. And let me tell you, when we are talking about the fibers, the correct answer which is present here is actually synthetic fiber. I have given two of the hints, fiber and that too synthetic. Now let's see who can give this answer. Prajwal is saying maybe jute. Okay. Albertson, Avan, do you wanna guess, or you have some barium gives green color in the firecracker? Totally correct, Avan. Absolutely correct. So if I'll talk about those fireworks, if we are talking about the green color which is there, that is because of barium. Totally correct. So Albertson is also going with jute. Okay, I'll tell you. Here, what is the correct answer? Here, nylon is going to be the correct answer. Fine. So please do not forget, nylon is a thread which is actually stronger than the steel wire. Very important. Okay. So here, no one. Here, Nylon was the correct answer, and it's very important. Do not forget. Okay, let's move forward now. Fabric made from dash does not get wrinkled easily. Now, since right now we have all the live candidates who are actually male. Now, for the males, let me tell you, we all have been in our college days, right? I guess some of you might be in college days right now also. So if I'll talk about college days, every day we cannot go with those iron dress, right? What we can do? We actually use the same clothes for a longer time duration, because I know about the male part. So this is the best example. When we were in the college days, the uniforms or the shirts, pants, whatever you are wearing, if that would be made up of polyester, it would have been wrinkle free. So yes, please remember, the fabrics which are actually made up of polyesters, they don't get wrinkled easily. So it's very important that you need not again and again go for the red iron part. So yes, Prajwal has given the correct answer, and that is polyester. So got my point? Albertson, Prajwal, absolutely correct. Avan, I guess you are also with the same answer. Great. So fabric which is made up of polyester does not get wrinkled easily. And this is important. Do not forget. So Avan, Albertson, Prajwal, you all are correct. Next. Next is, the poisonous gas accidentally released in Bhopal gas tragedy is dash. Now this was the gas. If I'll talk about the Bhopal gas tragedy, remember what happened? During the release of that particular gas, which you will be giving the option, lakhs of people died, and not only lakhs of people, apart from that, animals were also affected. So yes, what is the correct answer over there? The poisonous gas which was accidentally released in Bhopal gas tragedy. What was it? So it is the important one. In many of the examinations, this question is repeatedly asked. So Avan is the first one to give this answer, that is C. Prajwal is also with C, that is methyl isocyanate. And see, Prajwal, cyanide and cyanate, you must remember, but it's good that you know the answer. You will just click it there. So yes, totally correct. Avan, Alberts and Prajwal, all of you are correct. Here the correct answer is going to be methyl isocyanate. Now, before moving forward to the next question, I have a question for you. The question is, when we talk about rusting in the iron, so for that rusting part, we knew there are two conditions. One is what? One of that is there must be moisture, or we can talk about water. Apart from moisture, what else is needed for this rusting? Let's see who can give this answer. Methane is marsh gas. Yeah, true. So what I was asking, I was asking, if I'm talking about rusting, here we have two of the important conditions. If one of them is not there, rusting is not going to happen, right? So for this rusting part, one is moisture which is required, and another thing is what? So Prajwal, Avan, totally correct. So Prajwal is saying, sir, it would be water and air. So if I'll talk about air also, one important thing is oxygen. So one of the question is this, which is asked in the examination. One more part is there. Now what if I talk about the rusting part, and when this rusting takes place on the iron, the question which is asked in the examination is, what will happen to its weight? Its weight is going to increase, its weight will decrease, it will remain same, or we can't say. Next question. See, this question is very, very important actually. Again and again asked in the examination, so I have kept it here. Yes. So if I'm talking about rusting, moisture and oxygen is required, that is water and air. True. Albertson, your answer was correct. Now I'm talking about the weight. When iron has rusted, what will happen to the weight? Will it increase? Will it decrease? Will it remain same? Or we can't say anything. Anything can happen. What is the answer over here? Albertson is saying, sir, weight is going to decrease. Others? That's true, Avan. That would be the next part I'll discuss. But what about this question? My question is, what would be the effect on weight? So Albertson is going with decrease. Avan is saying that there would be increase in the weight. Prajwal, your answer is pending actually. And yes, these questions are important, so I want answer from everyone. Can you answer this? Prajwal, please, waiting for the answer, because we have two options. One is increase, one is decrease. If you want, you can go with weight will remain same, or all of the above. Sorry, can't say. Please remember, when we talk about the rusting part, here weight is going to increase. Very important. Albertson, Avan, please remember this part. When we are talking about rusting, at that time, your weight is going to increase. That is, iron's weight is going to increase. Now, this is the process that is known as oxidation, right? So yes, Prajwal, absolutely correct. So this part is done. Now I want to prevent from rusting. So for the prevention from rusting, what I can do? So for the prevention from rusting, I can actually go with the coating of zinc. Iron bits will, iron, yeah, Avan, totally correct. So if I go for this prevention, what I can do? I can go for oiling. I can even go for greasing part, that is greasing can be done. But one more important thing is, which I'll write on the next part of the board, that is galvanization. Galvanization. Now what is happening here? Here one coating of zinc is done. What is that? Here coating of zinc is done. Now this question is asked in one way or the another. First part can be galvanization involves what? So we will be having option zinc. Or another question can be actually twisted in another way. So we must know both these facts. For the galvanization process, we need coating of zinc. Fine. So yes, Avan and everyone, remember this part. Do not forget. Okay. Next, please. So before moving forward, let me tell you, we have an example official application, which is one-stop solution for all the government job aspirants. We have live paid courses with the test series. We have free subject-wise, topic-wise quiz with the report card, then job alert, admit card, examination date, all exam previous year PDF with the solution, topic-wise free live class, free exam-wise PDF practice at PDF, daily, weekly, monthly current affair, all these things at a single platform. Just go to the Play Store, type example over there, click on the install button, click on the open part, just do the registration and start using it. Okay, so this was about example application. Now talking about the next question. Which of the following gases is produced due to incomplete combustion of fuel? Answer. Which of the following gas is released due to incomplete combustion of fuel? What is the correct answer? Is it CO2? Is it CO? Is it CH4? What is it? Carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, methane or ethane? What is the correct answer? Answer please. Waiting for the answer from everyone. So Prajwal, Avan, Albertson. Albertson is the first one to give this answer, that is CO. Good. When I'll talk about this part, Prajwal is also going with B. Totally correct. So Avan, I also guess you also going with the same part, right? See, when we'll talk about this incomplete combustion, please remember for the incomplete combustion of the fuel, what is released? That is CO. Now, if I'll talk about this carbon monoxide, you might have seen white colored gases in those automobiles which are actually quite older. When they actually run their bikes or the cars which are actually have got quite older, that is 15 to years more than that. So what happens? White fumes start coming from that. That particular gas is actually showing that this is carbon monoxide, and how this is more dangerous. This carbon monoxide does what? It reacts with the hemoglobin and directly cuts the oxygen supply. Hemoglobin has the highest affinity for this gas. Since hemoglobin, which is present in our body, has the highest affinity for this gas, so the oxygen supply which is there in our body is actually cut. And when oxygen supply is cut, this leads to death also. Please remember, this incomplete combustion of fuel is very, very dangerous, is dangerous in such a manner that we may even die. So, okay. So here, please remember what we are talking about. Here the answer, that is carbon monoxide would be the correct one. Next. Which of the following is not a greenhouse gas? Now we have four options here. We have carbon dioxide, we have water vapor, carbon monoxide and nitrous oxide. So what is going to be the correct answer? Which of the following is not a greenhouse gas? Now if I talk about this greenhouse gas, what's that? We know that these are the gases which are released, and when these greenhouse gases are released, here we can relate it with what? Yeah, that's true, Aman. Totally correct. So yeah, I was waiting for the answer. What is greenhouse gas? So we have three of the options which are related with the greenhouse, and one of the option is not related with it. So let's see who can give this answer. Answer please. So we have one of the option. We are going with D, that is nitrous oxide. You all are going with nitrous oxide. Is there anyone who wants to change the option? See, we'll talk about this greenhouse gas now. In that greenhouse gas, there is no such role of carbon monoxide. That is, if I'll talk about this greenhouse gas, please remember carbon monoxide is going to be the correct answer. That is option number C. Next, hemoglobin has the highest affinity to which of the following? Now we have four options. And I guess we have discussed this part. Answer please. Who can give me this answer? My question is, hemoglobin has the highest affinity to which of the following? Now this question is actually from the previous year part, and it is very very important, and everyone who is there in the session, kindly try to answer these questions because it will clear up all your doubts. Answer please. Uh answer please, waiting. Hemoglobin has the highest affinity. So Albertson is going with C, that is CO. Prajwal is saying sir maybe CO2. Okay. Prajwal, we discussed it just two questions before. So we have Akileshwar here, and he is going with option C. Please remember, Prajwal, Albertson, Akileshwar, then Avan. If I talk about hemoglobin, it has highest affinity towards carbon monoxide. I told you. See, what is affinity? This word is very important in the chemistry part. Please remember, if I'm talking this highest affinity, please remember it is talking about love. That is, hemoglobin has the highest love towards C. Acha, by mistake na, then it's okay. Okay, Prajwal. So yes, hemoglobin has the highest affinity, that is highest love towards carbon monoxide. What will happen? When this carbon monoxide is entering into your body, it will be having love affection towards hemoglobin. So in this manner, what is going to happen? Your oxygen supplying chain is going to stop. That is, it will cut the oxygen supply, because of which the person will suffer from death. Yeah, totally correct, Aman. Absolutely correct. So your option C was the correct answer. Now next question is, which of the following types of water is known to be absolutely free from any sort of impurity? What's that? Which of the following type of water is known to be absolutely free from any impurity? What is the correct answer here? Is it mineral water, distilled water, spring water, or boiled water? What is the correct answer? Answer please. Answer please. So Akhileshwar is going with B, that is distilled water. Okay, others, can you answer this part? Answer please. So Albertson is going with B, that is distilled water. Avan is with mineral water. Then, see, if I'll talk about this mineral water, it might have impurity. It might have impurity. You can, if you want the example of mineral water, the best part is you can talk about the water bottles that we are getting, right? There several companies are there. But if I'll talk about distilled water is actually free from any sort of impurity, and hence we'll say that B option is going to be the correct one. Now there's a question from the physics part. Now from this part itself, there's a question. If I'll talk about water, I'm talking about water. Now can you tell me, water is the good conductor of electricity or bad conductor? My question is, water is the good conductor of electricity or bad conductor? Now I'm not giving those four options and twisting the question. Directly I'm asking. My question is, you have only two options. You have to tell me, water is the pure conductor of electricity or bad conductor? Now this is very important for the examination. Again, from the physics part, this question plays a significant role. And I don't want anyone to be wrong here. Sorry, yeah. So, no one. Nowadays, that rainwater is also not pure. Why? There are several factories from where sulfur dioxide, nitrous oxide gases are released, which are creating that sulfuric acid and HNO3, that is nitric acid, because of which the rain is actually acidic in nature. So, yes, Akhileshwar is saying, sir, water will be the good conductor of electricity, and Avan is saying, sir, it would be bad conductor. Albertson is going with bad conductor. Okay. Now, everyone, please remember, this is the point which you should never forget. Prajwal, if you are there also, please start commenting, because these points now, they are going to clarify all your doubts. When we'll talk about the water, please remember, we cannot tell this water is going to be good conductor or bad conductor. Why? There's a reason behind it. If I talk about pure water, I never use any type of term, whether pure or impure. If I'll talk about pure water, so Avan and Albertson, you both of you will be correct. Please remember, pure water is actually the bad conductor of electricity. Bad conductor of electricity. And hence current will not flow through it. So bad conductor of electricity. Now, only and only pure water. Fine. Yes, that's true, Avan. But if I'll talk about impure water, that is any kind of impurity is there, it will start conducting electricity, and that's why I'm saying, obviously, Akhilesh, obviously, since there is no such impurity, it would be bad conductor. Now, what I'm saying, never do this experiment at your home that sir has told, sir, pure water is going to be the bad conductor, so I can just put my finger and apply current as well in the same water. Never do that, because how can you be sure that that particular water is pure in nature? If there is any sort of impurity, now it will conduct current, and yes, you will face that particular shock. So do not do this experiment, but please remember, pure water is actually the bad conductor of electricity, and it is very, very important part, right? Do not forget. Okay, so let's move forward now. Here option B was the correct answer. Next, which rays cause skin damage? Which rays cause skin damage? So we have four options here: X-ray, UV ray, infrared ray, and yellow rays. So what is the correct answer? What is the correct answer over here? Waiting for the answer, please. Answer. Albert Singh, sir, IB के notification आ गया. Avan, I'll just check about the notification of IB, but we have received the notification for SSC GD. Yesterday, notification for SSC GD is released, and this time the pattern is quite changing. That is, this time you're not going to get those 25 questions. This time 20 questions each would be there. So, Akhilesh is saying, sir, we shouldn't drink distilled water, right? Akhilesh, you can even drink distilled water, but you will not like its taste, because that water is actually flattened. So you are not going to get enjoy that taste. But yes, distilled water can be taken in. Okay. So your point is clear. Then we have Avan here. Avan, I guess I have given your answer also. So Prajwal is going with UV rays. Avan is going with X-rays. Akhilesh is with B, that is UV rays. Then Vinod is with UV rays. Avan is with UV. Albertson, yeah. Today IB also. Okay, Vinod, I'll just have a look at that. Today I haven't seen any of the notifications. Actually, I was having classes. Okay, fine. So if you have any doubt in that IB part, whether regarding filling the forms or any sort of doubt, you can just let me know in the evening batch between 6 to 7. I'll have a look at that. Or you can drop your doubts in the comment. I'll just have a look and resolve your doubts. Fine. So yes, what I was talking about the skin damage. Please remember, that is actually a UV rays, that is ultraviolet rays. And yes, if someone asks you, if I talk about earth and sun, so UV rays which are coming from the sun are actually keeping us safe. How we are actually safe? Ozone is actually keeping us safe from this particular UV rays. Fine. So yes, there are several things which I want to tell you here. One thing is, for the skin damage part, UV rays are actually the one which are creating the damage. Now this UV rays, we can talk about the sun's light. So yes, UV rays are coming from the sun, but we are safe because of the presence of ozone layer. Now ozone's formula is what? Ozone's formula is O3, right? And yeah, that's true, stratosphere. So let's move forward now with the next question. Which of the following constitutes highest percentage of greenhouse gases? So is it ethane, methane, carbon dioxide, or propane? What is the correct answer? So we have discussed about greenhouse gases, right? So what is the correct answer over here? Which of the following constitutes the highest percentage of greenhouse gases? Answer please. Highest percentage of greenhouse gases. So Albertson is going with CO2, that is option number C. Vinod is also going with CO2. Albertson has C answer. Prajwal has C answer. Akhilesh is going with methane. No. Akhilesh, please remember, here CO2 is going to be the correct answer. See, the maximum highest percentage is from CO2. So yes, carbon dioxide is going to be the correct answer. That is option number C. Now, next question is, the common name for difluoromethane is dash. So what is that? Difluoromethane. The common name of difluoromethane is what? So is it galena, freon, gypsum, or borax? Galena, freon, gypsum or borax? What is the correct answer here? The common name of difluoromethane. Is it galena, freon, gypsum or borax? So Akhileshwar is going with Sir D. That is Sir borax. Okay. So Avan, Prajwal. Then we have Albertson. Are you also going with option number D? That is borax. Avan is saying, sir, it would be freon. That is option number B. So we have two of the answers. One with freon. Okay, Akhileshwar has given answer freon. Others? See, we'll talk about refrigerators. That's true. Avan, absolutely correct. Galena from the lead, right? That is the ore. But if I'll talk about this galena, you have already told me, ore of lead, right? If I'll go with this B option, that is Prajwal is also saying B. Albertson, your answer is left actually. I'm waiting for your answer, Albertson. So yes, till the time you're giving me answer, I'll just tell you about gypsum. So gypsum, for gypsum we have discussed yesterday also. What is the formula for that? That is CaSO4 dot 2H2O, right? Now what will happen if I just heat it up? After heating, what is going to happen? It will convert into CaSO4 dot half H2O. So here please remember, this part is actually your gypsum and this part is what? This is actually your plaster of Paris. What is that? Plaster of Paris. If someone asks you about the formula of plaster of Paris, that is going to be CaSO4 dot half H2O. So yes, waiting for this answer. Albertson is also with B and that's totally correct. The correct answer is going to be a freon. Now since we are talking about these gases, if I talk about the CFC and HCFC, please remember, chlorofluorocarbon or hydrochlorofluorocarbons. So we are aware of, we can talk about refrigerator over here. What's that? Refrigerators here, or we can talk about fridges. So for the coolant we are using, right? Where we can even talk about ammonia. The main thing is that I want to explain. Now if I talk about this refrigerators, there are two questions for you. One of the question is, when we talk about refrigerator, we have that coolant area on the top, right? So can you tell me why this particular coolant area is on the top? Why that, or why that location where we are actually freezing our ice, that is freezer, is located on the top? The reason behind it is, if I talk about the cold gases are actually settling down and hot air is actually rising up. So when hot air rises up, because of the presence of this part here, what will happen? This gas will become cool again. It will again settle down, and in this manner, this particular area remains cool. Fine. Now there's a question from the physics part. Now this is quite interesting one. My question is, if I open the door of the fridge and keep in the room, obviously the fridge will be in the room. What will be the change in the temperature of the room? My question is, if I open the door of the fridge and it is kept in a room, now my question is, the temperature of the room will increase. Second is, temperature of the room will decrease. Third is, temperature of the room will remain same, or we can't say. We can't say what is going to happen. Anything can happen. So these are the four options. Again, I'll repeat my question. If the fridge door is opened, what is the change in the temperature of the room? So Vinod is saying that room's temperature is going to increase. Avan, Albertson, Akhileshwar, I want answer from everyone for this question. So Vinod is the first one to answer this. Vinod is saying the temperature of the room will increase. Avan is saying that it will decrease. Akhileshwar is saying that it will remain same. So that means we have all the minds present here. The only option left is can't say. So Albertson, your answer is left, and Prajwal, your answer is also left. So waiting for the answer from you two also. And everyone who is there in the session, please answer this part. Now Avan is Avan has already told, sir, answer is going to decrease. Okay. But I want the answer from everyone. This seems to be quite interesting, right? So Vinod was the first one to answer this in the first go. Sir, if we open the door of the fridge, the temperature of the room will increase. Then Avan told, sir, temperature will decrease, and Akhileshwar told, sir, it will remain same. There is no such effect. But Albertson, are you there in the class? Prajwal, oh, I am getting your comments quite late because I am going to explain this part now. Let me check who all are live. Can you give me your attendance for a while so that I can explain this part then? Now this is becoming quite interesting, right? And these are the questions which are repeatedly asked. Just a second. Albertson has given the answer, sir. It will decrease and will increase. Okay. Okay, fine. So current consumption increases, sir. Akhilesh is saying. See what happens. If I'll talk about this fridge, we have certain volume fixed, right? It may be 20 liters, it may be 25 liters, 30 liters, 35 liters. If I'll talk about fridge, let's say it has the volume of 25 liters, for example. Now, this fridge is made in such a manner, the compressors which are used and all those particular instruments which are used, electrical equipments, they're actually working for that particular 25-liter volume only. But when you will open the door of the fridge, now just think of the volume. What is the volume size now? Volume size has become so much large that these all equipments will start working in the faster pace or with a greater efficiency. Now in this condition, what will happen? All those equipments which we are talking about, for example, they are compressors, whatever are they, when they will work, they will start to heat up. Why? Because this time your capacity is not of 25 liters. It's a bigger part. That is, whole room is now acting like a fridge. So it's a bigger part. So these compressors and all will work with more particular efficiency, or we can say that in a manner that they will heat up. And because of this, what will happen? The temperature of the room will start increasing. It will not decrease. Now, if I'll say about decreasing, just forget this scenario. What will happen? If opening door of the fridge could decrease the temperature, there were no use of those ACs, fans or coolers. What we would have done? We would have just purchased a fridge, we have opened the door, and it would have actually done what? It would have cooled the room. But that is not possible. Why? Because its volume will actually increase. Now when volume will increase, this means all those parts will work, and because of that, heating will be done. So please remember, if you open the fridge, here your temperature is actually going to increase. I guess everyone got this part. So please remember, this is important one. Okay. So yes, Albertson was saying, so it will decrease and then will increase. So if I'll go with the option with the examination part, so I'll just say temperature will increase. But yes, if I'll talk about that opening part, obviously that cool air is going to come out. So for a while you will feel that it is cool, but in a longer go, we will say temperature is actually increasing. Got my point? Okay. So let's move forward to the next question now. The common name for the difluoromethane is what? So it is freon. We have discussed it. Next question is, air has the maximum proportion of which inert gas? And I want answer from everyone for this. Everyone who's there in the session, kindly answer this part, because all these questions are from previous year examinations and it is very important. Okay, cool. Akhilesh, Ravan, everyone. Answer this. Air has the maximum proportion of which inert gas? So is it carbon dioxide, nitrogen, argon or carbon monoxide? Now this is again important. You might be wondering, sir, what? It's very simple. I know the answer. But before clicking on the answer, just have a look at the question. So Akhilesh is the first one to say that the answer is going to be C, that is argon. Then Avan is also going with argon, that is option number C. We have Vinod here, argon, Albertson here. What to do with you, all of you talented candidates? Awesome, everyone. Great. Totally correct. I thought that what you will do, you will just check the air's maximum proportion, and after seeing this, what you will do? You will just have a look, sir, options. Oh, sir, what are you saying? We know that it is nitrogen. But yes, Prajwal, seriously awesome here. Now I'm fan of you all. Seriously, I'm fan of you all. Totally correct. Vinod has already given me that point. What's that? They're not inert gases, na man. The question is from which inert gas? Totally correct. And that's why your correct answer is going to be your argon. But, so since you have given the answer, no need to go in depth now. I'll tell, if this part was missing, then we can say that yes, totally correct. Nitrogen would have been the correct answer. But the question was, which of the following inert gases? So yes, argon is going to be the correct answer. Seriously, very happy from you all. Let's move forward now. So here option number C was the correct answer. Next, sulfur dioxide pollution is indicated by an excessive growth of which of the following? So these are the four options. What is the correct answer here? Answer please. Yes, for the food preservation. We have discussed about that one yesterday. That was sodium benzoate, right? Answer please. Question is, sulfur dioxide pollution is indicated by an excessive growth of which of the following? What is the correct answer here? So Akhilesh is going with option A, that is algal blooms. Then Avan is saying, sir, it would be lichens. Prajwal is also going with lichens. Vinod, your answer is left. Then Albertson. Waiting for your answers as well. Akhilesh has given answer A, sir, that is algal blooms. Avan and Prajwal is with lichen. Albertson is not sure. He's saying, sir, it may be algal blooms. Okay. Then Avan. It is also there. Totally correct, Avan. I'm not discarding that. I'm telling you that sodium benzoate is also the one. Okay. So yes, everyone is correct over here. Vinod is also going with A. So there are two options actually which are coming. One is algal blooms and one is lichens. But let me tell you here, lichens is going to be the correct answer. So sulfur dioxide pollution is indicated by an excessive growth of which of the following, that would be lichens. Now since we are talking about this sulfur dioxide pollution, there was someone, I guess it was Akhilesh or someone was there who actually asked me the question. So what if I talk about the rain? See, once upon a time, we can say that rain water which was coming to us was pure. No doubt. But nowadays what has happened, because of the presence of these factories, what is happening? Here are several gases like SO2 or NOx. What happens? Because these factories are releasing sulfur dioxide and nitrous gases, because of these particular gases, when these gases reach the air, there we have moisture, that is water, and when it reacts, when this particular, I'll use color, change in color, yeah, if these gases react with this water, it will make what? It will make H2SO4, and if they react, they are making what? They are making HNO3. And this is what? This is nitric acid. This is sulfuric acid. And when we obtain this rain is actually known as acidic rain, because of which there are several things which are occurring, and that's what we can talk about: marble cancer. Marble cancer is what? The Taj Mahal's, that marble is depleting. That is marble cancer, right? So that is your acidic rain. So here, please remember, SO2, NOx, they are the main factors of this acid rain. It is asked in the examination. Then marble cancer is related with what? It is related to acid rain. Sulfur dioxide pollution is indicated by what? So there would be the excessive growth in the lichens. So it is actually the combination of what we can say algae and the fungi. These lichens, I'll write here. This is from the bio part actually. It lies between algae and fungi. Okay, so let's move forward now. So these were the important things here. B, lichens is the correct answer. Next is, what does BOD5 refer to? BOD5. Answer please. And everyone who is there in the session, kindly like it and share it. And yes, everyone is requested to please start commenting as well. What does BOD5 refer to? What is that? Waiting for the answer, everyone. What is the answer? Answer please. So Akhilesh is the first one to give answer, sir, B. That is biological oxygen demand in 5 hours. Then Avan is also going with B. Sir, biological oxygen demand in 5 hours. Others? Avan, Akhilesh with B. Albertson, no issues. Albertson, what happened? Not aware of this answer? No issues. There is no need of sorry, but please try to give the answer. Vinod is saying, sir, it would be 5 days. See, that means we all are going with either option A or B. Prajwal, your answer is left. Waiting for your answer also. I'll just take the answer of Prajwal and then we'll move forward. When we're talking about this BOD, first of all, we must know about it. I'll tell about this 5-4. What is it? So Prajwal, till the time you're giving me answer, I'm telling about this. What is BOD? B stands for biological. Biological. O is what? O is standing for oxygen. And D is standing for demand. Now what is that? Biological oxygen demand is what? If I talk about these bacteria or microbes, during the aerobic respiration, they require certain amount of oxygen, right? So Prajwal is not sure. Prajwal is saying, sir, not sure, but maybe D, that is biological oxygen demand in 5 months. Okay. See, so how much they are actually using the oxygen in order to decompose any of the compound? That is biological oxygen demand. Now, if someone will tell about this number 5, BOD 5, please remember, so it is the biological oxygen demand in 5 days. So, in 5 days, how much that particular oxygen is required? So, what I was talking about BOD? BOD is biological oxygen demand, which is required by microorganism. That is, we were talking about bacteria during the aerobic respiration when they are actually breaking down those compounds. So, how much oxygen is actually required? That is biological oxygen demand. If I talk about 5 days, it would be known as BOD 5. So, yes, Vinod, absolutely correct. So, all of you got my point, or should I repeat that? I want thumbs up from everyone if you got this point. Very, very important. Answer, please. Have you received this point? Very, very important. See, I don't want anyone to be wrong here. So, any of the bacteria or microorganism, when they are actually just degrading that any of the matter, organic matter, so they must be requiring oxygen, right? So, how much oxygen is actually required? So, we can say biological oxygen demand. From the name itself, it is clear. The demand of the oxygen, right? So, if I'm talking about that 5 days, that is BOD 5. Okay, cool. So, let's move forward with the next question now. Here we have option number 1 is the correct answer. Next, what will be the form of nitrogen in sewage water if sewage water, I'll write here, if sewage water is completely oxidized? Okay, cool, fine. So Albert sir, Nakleshwar, Avan, Prajwal, great. So we know there's already given the correct answer. Yeah, answer please. What will be the form of nitrogen if sewage water is completely oxidized? Nitrite, ammonia, nitramine, or nitrate? What is the correct answer here? Answer please. Answer please. Prajwal is going with ammonia. Okay. Albertson is going with B, that is ammonia. Akhleshwar is with D, that is a nitrate. Prajwal is also with ammonia. Albertson is with B. So maximum of you are going with option number B. But here please remember, when we will talk about this nitrogen, when sewage water is completely oxidized, this nitrogen will be converted to nitrate. Vinod, here please remember everyone, this is the important one. Do not forget, when sewage water is completely oxidized, at this time this nitrogen will be oxidized to what? Nitrogen will be in the form of nitrate. That is option number D is going to be the correct answer. Yes, Avan and everyone. Okay. So, okay, these were the questions. Now, moving forward. So, we have example official application, which is one-stop solution for the government job aspirants. We have discussed about it, right? So, what we have? We have live paid courses here. We have job alerts, admit card, examination date, all India scholarship test with the report card. Then we have different current affairs, that is daily, monthly, weekly, all the type of current affairs. All these at a single platform. Just go to the Play Store, type exam pro app over there, click on the install button, click on the open part, just do the registration and start using it. Okay, so we have next question is, the gas that causes acid rain in an industrial area is dash. So the gas which is there in the industrial area and it is leading to acid rain. What is the correct answer here? Answer please. Answer. The gas causes acid rain in an industrial area. So what is the correct answer for this? I guess everyone knows this answer, right? So yeah, Akhleshwar has already given the answer. Vinod has already given the answer. So it would be SO2, that is sulfur dioxide. Others, are you also with the same thing? Are you also going with the same thing? Prajwal is also with A. Albertson is also with A. Yeah. So now let me tell you about this part. Now if I talk about the gas that is causing the acid rain, that is sulfur dioxide, that is totally correct. Now, if I talk about these gases, I've already discussed, apart from the sulfur dioxide, we have NOx also, that we are talking about the nitrous oxides, right? So now, moving forward to the next question, dash fiber is used for making bulletproof vests. So yes, okay. So what about this bulletproof vest? I guess everyone knows about it, right? Bulletproof Vest. That is, we can talk about Indian Army, everyone. Answer please. Akhilesh is with C, Albertson is with C, Avan is with C. That is Kevlar. So here, please remember, when we are talking about this particular part, that is, when we are talking about the bulletproof jackets. So bulletproof jackets means what? If I want this particular bullet, that it should not pierce into our body, so we must use a jacket, and that is bulletproof jacket, and it is made up of Kevlar. That is option number C will be correct. Now, one more thing is there. In the previous question, I forgot to discuss. There was a question that we were discussing about these gases, right? Now, when we are talking about these gases, there was a cycle. What was happening? From these industries, we were talking about these gases, SO2 or NOx, whatever they were they were leading to what? They were leading to sulfuric acid or HNO3. Now, there is one more term. Now, there is one more term which is known as water cycle. Which is known as water cycle. Do you remember this part? Now, obviously, this you will be studying in the geographies class also, but I have a basic example for you all. Are you all aware of this water cycle? Can you give me this answer? If no, you are not aware of, please let me know. I'll just explain in the simple words. Please tell me, are you aware of this water cycle? Everyone. If not, please let me know. Yeah, answer please. I guess I'm getting your comments quite late, but I need answer in the super fast manner, please, so that I can explain this part. If you're aware of, we'll just skip this part and move. Ha, it's Bhaba actually. Okay, fine. So we'll move forward then. Acha, Akhilesh wants to explain. What's the explanation? Okay, so in short, I'll explain because most of you are aware of this. See, what I'll talk about water cycle, we know that if we'll talk about a water body, from the water body, what happens? This water is actually evaporated. Obviously, with the process of what? Here we have sunlight is present, and because of the presence of evaporation process, which we are aware of, what is happening? This water, which is present in the water body, it may be any kind of water body, the water is actually evaporating and it is there in the form of clouds and it is again coming back. So this was water cycle in short. Now, if I try to explain this with a simpler example, I can talk about a tiffin box. In a tiffin box, remember, when our mother used to pack food in which she used to keep chapati, what used to happen? In that particular tiffin box, when we used to open the tiffin box, this particular part used to be there with the droplets. Now, why was that droplet present? When our mother used to cook the food, or when she was actually making that chapati, there was a steam which was present, right? Now, the steam was present inside that chapati, and she did what? She actually packed that chapati. Now, there was water vapor which was present there, but it was in the form of gaseous state. Now, what happened? When that gas actually struck with this particular part of the topmost part of the tiffin, here the process of condensation took place. What is the process of condensation? From the gaseous state, it was converted to the liquid state. From the gaseous state to liquid state, and that particular gas came back as a liquid, and this liquid used to be present on a tiffin box. Now, why am I explaining this? This is actually explained why. The one of the logic is we must be aware of this water cycle. Question may be asked in one way or the another, but it is from the geography part. Now, if I'll talk about my science part over here, what is the main thing that I want to explain? Here there is a process that is known as condensation. Condensation. Then we have sublimation. Sublimation. One is condensation, then is sublimation. Then we have evaporation. Then we have freezing. These particular things must be clear. No one is going to ask you the definition. No one is going to ask you the definition, but the examples are asked. For example, when we are talking about conversion from water to ice, very basic, everyone knows. Water to ice, that is from liquid to solid state. It is what? It is actually of freezing. If I'll talk about evaporation, here what was happening? The water which was present here, that is the liquid which was present here, was converted into the gaseous form. And slowly we can talk about the example where we are drying our clothes, right, every day. But what about this condensation and sublimation? Can you give its example? So condensation, I have already told you. In the process of condensation, what is happening? From the gas, liquid state is coming. Where we were talking about water cycle, right? Now I want the answer from you all. Can you give me the example of sublimation? What is the example of sublimation? And this would be the question, last question for the day. And tomorrow we'll come, we'll be coming with the marathon day after tomorrow now. But I want answer for the sublimation part, please. Because from the Monday we'll be having mixed question from the science. Everyone who is there in the session, please give me the answer of this sublimation. All the questions are very, very basic. But what about this sublimation part? Gas to solid conversion, I have never thought of it. I'll just check it and let you know. Dry ice is here. That's not from gas to solid, Akhleshwar. For the dry ice, that is in the form of solid form already, right? I'm talking about gas to liquid, not gas to solid. So yes, if I talk about this sublimation, what is going to happen? Here, from solid to gas conversion will take place directly without coming into the liquid part, where I'll talk about naphthalene balls, or you can talk about at camphor. In Hindi we call it what? Kapoor. That's totally correct. Jarsa has joined us and totally correct. That is camphor. So please remember this part. Fine. So from gas to solid, that is not there. It is from solid to gas. Got my point? And there is no intermediate connection with liquid part over there. So okay, naphthalene balls, and we have camphor, that is kapoor we call it in Hindi. All these are the example of sublimations. And yes, one more example I'll go with this condensation part. If I'll use the cold drink, when I keep the cold drink in a glass, I'll just make a glass over here. When we keep the cold drink in a glass, we have seen these droplets. Why these droplets are present here? Here, because of the change in the temperature, here it was colder, outside it is hotter, and the gases which are present here, these gases are actually cooled up and their water droplets actually come. So okay, these were the important things from the chemistry part. Now what we will do, on Sunday we will have marathon of 2 hours. But the main important thing is from Monday we are going with the complete science part. Every day we will be having mixed question from the physics, chemistry or bio. Fine. So okay then, please take care. For any sort of doubt, comment section is always there for you. Just let me know, I'll sort out all your doubts. And yes, the most important thing is, if you face any kind of tension, sir, I am unable to learn this, I am unable to understand this, please comment me. I'll create tricks for you, I'll let you know. And I'll do one thing in the session, I'll take 5 to 10 minutes for your those particular issues. Fine. Whether it is regarding learning, whether it is anything related to the studies. Okay then, bye bye everyone. Please take care. Enjoy your day.